Hey everyone, welcome to the program WRSA Radio. I am your host, G1. As always, I hope you are having a good week. I am not. I got some potentially bad news this week. Nothing confirmed 100% at this point, but it ain't looking good. This is job related, so it's potentially a major change for me in the near future, unfortunately. That's never good news to get, and I don't really want to go into any more details about it at this point because I can't. I don't really have a whole lot of details yet, and it's not even 100% sure, as I said. So I kind of want to steer the ship into a little bit of a different tack. As you probably can guess, that kind of information can really kick your motivation into, well, a ton of different directions. You think about potential futures and how things could go and the outcomes, and it's been pretty heavy on my mind the last few days. I've not really been paying close attention to the news media for the most part, and I'm generally not seeing a lot of good fodder for podcast topics for the day, for the show. So I thought I would keep this one kind of somewhat short this week and try to do just about like 10 minutes on some general thoughts. And well, I'll get into a couple of topics, but and then give you guys an update on the website. I can't promise you it's going to be a fantastic show, and if you don't listen to the whole thing, I totally understand. It's one of those things. Sometimes, I've hit 175 episodes this one, and out of the 175, you're going to make some stinkers every once in a while, and somebody might listen to this one and go, yeah, this was a stinker, but it is what it is. I commit to delivering you guys a show every week, or every time that I can. Obviously, life takes a turn every once in a while, and I can't make it, but I commit to doing that for you guys and putting something out there for you. And you just can't always hit a home run. Sometimes you hit a single. This one's probably a bunt. I don't know. Let's just start off with the site. So as many as you may or may not know, the main WRSA page was killed. Still don't know all the details on that, but it's gone. I have not had a chance to have a sit down with Concerned American offline, face to face, meet space, baby, and get a real understanding of what happened there. But I know Pete's working hard to get a new version up and running, and that is supposed to be any day now, as there was a wait on the new server locations. I don't know what the delay was going on there, but it's taken a little bit of time to spin that up. And in the meantime, he's been slumming it over on Mike's Cold Fury blog as a WRSA branded page that's kind of spun off from there. It's kind of riding on a little separate space over there. I am posting the links to that in the description of this video, so find it there and update your links. And when the new site is up and on its own, that will be communicated there on the Cold Fury space, and also on Gab and Nice Crew. I'll post something on Nice Crew, and I'll update the links again down below in the descriptions of each of these videos on a weekly basis. So you should see it in one of those places. You should recognize when that change has happened and get updated there. So I guess the main topic for this week is the salacious porn star trial of Donald Trump that is taking place, where Trump is being put on trial for paying a completely legal payment to a porn star so she would not lie about having sex with Trump during his presidential campaign. Obviously, he would not want that to be thrown about there and causing a stir. Whether it legitimately happened or not, I tend to think that I come down on a kind of a 50-50. Part of me thinks, yeah, he probably did, but the other part of me says, I don't know. I just don't find this lady believable. I think she's really harmed her credibility, and I really think that she was doing this for the money. I don't know that for sure. No way of proving that. It's a gut feeling. But anyway, she says that she's going to disclose this during the campaign, and that Trump was concerned about how that might impact his chances, and so she signs a legal non-disclosure agreement. Which is coordinated by Trump's attorney, Michael Cohen, and he handled the payment of a hush money payment to the porn star in relation to that non-disclosure agreement. And the NDA is important there because that means non-disclosure. That means you don't talk about it. If you talk about this, you will be in breach of the agreement and you will get sued. And that is exactly what happened. She talked, she got an attorney and they kind of blustered and they made this, these accusations. They kind of said, hey, no, the NDA isn't going to cover him. Let's go out there and, it's just not going to be enforceable. We can go out there and talk about this, whatever. And in a flurry of lawsuits, she found herself in court and she lost. Trump won that case and she owes him something like $500,000, $300,000 to $500,000, which she said in court that, well, he's never going to get that money. Okay, well, I think there's probably legal ramifications for that, but, who knows how things shake out. But nothing about this is illegal, except the part where the porn star threatened to go to the press with her story. That used to be called extortion. But I guess when you get lawyers involved, it somehow gets the sheen of legitimacy about it. But that's the other point. Lawyers are involved, and documents were drawn up and agreed upon. So Trump's company filed those payments on their books as exactly what they are. They're legal expenses. And I guess you could make the argument that he shouldn't have used his company's money to pay for those legal expenses, but I don't see how you get around that when you're a company and I look at it, if my company, if someone were to accuse the CEO of my company of something, he wouldn't be paying for that out of pocket. That would come out of legal funds for the company, especially if he was a majority shareholder and or sole owner, however that was set up. I just don't see how you wouldn't pay that out of your company's expenses, your company's money, and how it wouldn't be classified as legal documents. I don't think that there's an accounting code for extortion payment. It just seems to me to be pretty cut and dry here. But this is what the prosecutors have focused in on and made this outlandish claim that somehow that constituted fraud and an illegal campaign contribution. This case should have been dismissed on its face as laughable, but we know how this is going. This is 2024, so we fast forward to 2024. The trial is underway, and porn star hits the witness stand this week to testify, and she bombs. Her story has more holes than a screen door in it. But to hear the mass media tell this, of course, you would think that she, this was an episode of Law and Order, and she was delivering this dramatic testimony, and it was the climactic moment in the courtroom. But I didn't see it. I have not really paid a whole lot of attention to the trial. Like I said, I've had other things on my mind. But I've read articles posted about it, and it's clear to me that this was anything but climactic. It was a dud, just like every other one of the lawsuits and the charges. They're all nothing. They're vapor. Trump's other legal fight over classified documents hit a major blockade this week, and it looks very much like this case is going to fizzle out. The judge issued a halt to the trial indefinitely and didn't set a date for it to resume. From the schedule, it looks like there's no chance of things getting back underway until well after the election, which basically means this is going nowhere, and we'll likely see the charges significantly reduced or even outright dismissed. And all this is based off information that's coming to light, which indicates that there's a lot of problems with the evidence that Special Prosecutor Jack Smith has produced. It's not all on the up and up. I don't have all of those details. Again, I didn't dig very deeply into that reporting, mostly reading the headlines there. But it looks like, again, that reality is crashing headlong into the narrative and smashing it to bits once again. Now, all of this is just to say that this is just making a mockery of our courtrooms and our judicial system. Low-level judges and prosecutors who abuse their powers and who seem to always turn out to be really horrible people in person. They've infected the structure of our legal system from top to bottom. We've complained about for years, activist judges and the corrupt DOJ. It's really clear that there's very little gap between the two. They're willing bedfellows in the corruption and decay of the system. I just found it kind of ironic that a porn star would be the star witness in a courtroom where she may be one of the most honest people there. At least she screws people just for entertainment. Now, as I sit here today contemplating the future, it's kind of hard to see a way forward where we come out of this cleanly. I've talked about this for, many episodes. But it seems that the endarkenment continues, the destruction of our infrastructure in all guises of that word continues. Every aspect of what makes us civilization is eroding away. And everyone is looking for Superman to come and save us. Well, we don't have a Superman. We don't even have an Anne Margaret. All we have is fake and gay and Wish.com versions of heroes and villains. It's also very tiresome. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm just on a downer this week, and it's not as bad as I see things. You have these kind of ups and downs. Sometimes things look terrible. Sometimes, it's not so bad. Maybe I'm on a downer this week. But I long for the days when things made sense. And don't get me wrong, they were still fake and gay, but they made sense, and we could work with that. It felt like there were adults in the room. I could use more of the year 1984 and less of the book 1984. Well, anyway, that's all I got time for this week, guys. Like and subscribe. Come see us over on Gab, Nice Crew, and the temporary mothership. And I will see you on the next episode.